Keyed versus keyless guided system. Which one's better? I'm Dr. Robert Stanley, the Smile Engineer turned dentist, and today we're going to review two systems: a keyed system for guided surgery and a keyless system for guided surgery. Both of these products are sold by BIOHORIZONS, and this product here is the keyed version, and it has been in my use for nearly a decade. And some people have astutely observed in some of the new videos that we've posted to the channel that I'm using the new keyless system. And so the question came in, which one's better? In today's video, we're going to answer that. We're going to answer which system is better. So first, for those who aren't familiar with the guided systems, we'll go through a very quick overview. In this video, in this keyed system, each one of the drills has a corresponding spoon or key. So each one has a little key like this. So there's a key and there's a drill, a corresponding drill, and they go together. And this would go inside of your surgical guide. Okay, so that's a keyed system. So let me show you what a keyless system looks like. In a keyless system, we have a surgical guide, and a keyless system, it has a consistent diameter. Okay, so the diameter is the same. So what that allows you to do is to go in without a key. And the initial thought is this. The initial thought is keyless has got to be better than keyed because you don't have to mess with the key. And that makes a lot of practical sense, but there are some trade-offs. So let's step through it. The first thing is path of draw. So you're very familiar with the term path of draw for, let's say, a 3-unit bridge or a crown being seated on a crown prep, right? So what happens with these keyed system is they allow you to enter the access hole in the master cylinder off axis. This is an advantage. It's a huge advantage. And what do I mean by that? If I'm going into this site right here in the anterior in this surgical guide, I can actually take my drill, place the drill inside the hole at an angle, then rotate it into position so the master cylinder and the guide sleeve align, and then drop it into position and drill, okay? What that does is it allows me not to have to be perfectly aligned with the master cylinder to insert the drill and the guide sleeve. With the keyless system, you have to have a direct path of insertion. So you have a master cylinder in your surgical guide, and then in your hand, you have a guide sleeve that is part of the drill apparatus, and it has to have a path of insertion. There's no wiggle room. You see, this goes in and out, and it has to be in the path of insertion. So what does that mean? Well, it means that with a keyless system, you may run the risk of hitting the opposing dentition with your drill head. Okay, so the drill head is attached. Clearly, the drill head would be attached to the drill. And if that was attached on the top side here, you have to have a path of insertion that is collinear with the master cylinder. So this purple master cylinder, this has to be collinear before you can wiggle it to get it to engage, and then you drill. So what that means is that the stack-up height may inadvertently cause an obstruction with the opposing dentition. Now, is that a problem? Well, it could be a problem, but the engineers understood that when they designed this new system that came out about 1.5 years ago. When they came out with it, they knew that ahead of time. So what they did was they made this stack height from the insertion point to the drill tip very short. And that's an advantage. So you go, okay, well, that's an advantage. And because of that, it's very rare in using the new system that I actually have any sort of interference with the opposing dentition. So the advantage of the old one was that you could get into tight spaces from angles. The advantage of the new one is it could cause a problem, but it doesn't seem to be a problem because they have designed this stack height to be much more short. So that's the first thing. The second thing I want to talk about is the nature of the different systems. The keyed system has a constant drill length and an increasing drill diameter. So you would start with a 2mm diameter at 17 millimeters length, and then you would go to a 2.5 in diameter at 17 in length, and then continue until you get to your final drill diameter. But the length is consistent throughout. With the keyless system, the diameter is constant, and the length changes. So over here, in the keyless system, you might start with a 4.1 diameter, and you would stay at that diameter through the whole process. So you would start with the diameter of the pre-drill, then you would go to a 9, a 10.5, and maybe a 12, extending the length, okay? Now you say, well, what's the difference with that? Well, the main difference is this: patient comfort. When you do the first drill, the patient is already nervous. They're getting an implant. They're going to be nervous, regardless of whether or not they tell you they're nervous. They're like, is this going to hurt? So if the first drill is a 2 millimeter diameter, it drills the initial osteotomy very, very benign. It doesn't create any chatter. It doesn't create any noise. It doesn't create any real feeling for the patient. You go in, you go out, and they're like, oh, that wasn't bad. A little bit of saline on the tongue, and that's all they taste. And they're like, that's not bad. You extend the osteotomy and you complete the thing in under a minute. Implants in, and it's a beautiful thing, and they're loving it. With the keyless system, the first drill might be 4.1 millimeters in diameter. And that means that as the radius gets bigger, when it starts to spin, it can bite. And that bite can create a little bit of chatter, and that chatter can excite the patient. So you need to manage the patient's expectations when you're using the new keyless system with that first drill. The second thing is you must ensure that your guide sleeve, which is independent of the drills, the guide sleeve is color-coded, so they have small, medium, and large guide sleeves that color code with the actual surgical guide, so you don't have to worry about it. Just pick the color. It's paint by numbers, guys, right? So you pick the color that matches the guide sleeve and you're good to go. You must ensure that that guide sleeve is engaging the master cylinder before you step on the rheostat. If you step on that rheostat thinking that you're going to get the drill to go deeper because it's not engaging fully, you're going to snap your guide like that, okay? It's going to break your guide in a second. And then what you're going to do is you're going to do a couple of things. You're going to be very upset with the guide, okay? And you're going to say, guided sucks, and you're going to want to stop doing guided because it broke, right? Or you're going to say the system is broken or something, right? The fact of the matter is that it's technique sensitive. So when you insert this master cylinder, when you insert into the master cylinder with your guide sleeve, okay, it must engage partially inside of there before you step on the rheostat. And if you do that, you won't have any troubles. Just warn the patient that the first drill might have a little bit of chatter. After that, we go to a more traditional drill profile, and the subsequent drills are usually quite fine for the patient. They don't really notice it. And once again, you're done with the whole procedure in probably about a minute per implant site. So it's very, very efficient. Those are the main differences. The other difference about the new kit versus the old kit. The old kit was designed for the shallow conical hex indexing implant. The new kit manages the shallow conical hex implant as well as the deep conical interface with the cams. So if you don't have a system and you're going to buy a system, then you would likely want to buy the new system because it manages both platforms. So if you are interested in placing a shallow conical with a hex or a deep conical with the cams, you can do both with this one system. With this system, it only places the hexed implants. So this is more versatile. In addition to that, when they built this, they created a couple of spare locations that are really nice because you can add to the spare locations your bone profilers. So instead of having your bone profilers in a separate sterile bag and then having to pull them out for particular cases and it kind of slows down the procedure, you can actually have them in your kit ready to go because what you need is in your kit at the time of surgery. You're not hunting around in the back laboratory to pull out parts that aren't with you. So those are the main differences between the two systems. So then the next question you might ask is, which one do you like better? And the answer is, I like them both. I've used this one nearly for a decade, as I started the video off with. I've used this one since it came out almost exclusively, predominantly because I wanted the experience. So I wanted to be able to communicate with you guys what the differences are and what the pros and cons are. But the fact of the matter is, I've done every single case, onesie, twosies, and all my full mouth cases my entire career with one or the other of these surgical kits. There's never been a time where I needed to revert back to a free-handed system. There's never been a time that I haven't been able to make both of these systems work. So in your hands, with the proper training, both are going to work an order of magnitude better than freehanding, okay? And that will save enormous amounts of complexity downstream for your prosthodontic solutions when your implants are in the right location, as well as your biological solutions. So using one of these systems is really, really beneficial. If you have this system and you're happy with this system, you do not need to upgrade. The only reason why you would want to move to the new system is if your old system is wearing out and you need a new system. That would be an indication. Or if you want to add the Tapered Pro conical solution, which is the deep conical with the cams for the indexing, then you would need to go to the new system for that. But in my practice, I have them both. I still use them both, predominantly this one now because it manages both, except for a couple of small indications with the Shorty kit. In closing, both systems work great. If you have the existing system you don't need another system, you don't need to upgrade, that it would be a foolish use of your resources. Use the system you have until it wears out, and then when it's time, then consider upgrading to the new system because it has a broader breadth of offerings for you in terms of the implants that you can place. If you want to learn more about guided surgery and how it can benefit you and your patients, check out StanleyInstitute.com for our full course listing, and I'll see you there.